Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. Happy Friday, happy Halloween. It has been a very fun day. I am in full Halloween attire. We have done some trick-or-treating for the evening. We are just going to enjoy the rest of the night in peaceful quietude. It was kind of rowdy out there today. A lot of kids, a lot of walking, a lot of fun, and a lot of feet pain. Don't wear heels taking your kids trick-or-treating, ladies. The outfit is not worth it. After like 5 houses, I was like, okay, let's go back so I can change my shoes. Yeah, it was too much for my feet. I said, no. We can go back. Let's go tap in to spirit. So yes, so there's an energy of like a solitude or quietude that's taking over. Maybe some of this moon energy. We have a collaboration that's coming soon, some kind of a group in regards to something that they're competing for, or a competition. I don't know. What are they competing for? So let's see, what is the main theme that we can tap into tonight? And then we'll go through all the signs, okay? So, main theme, Miss Independent. Okay, so there's a conversation to be had about Miss Independent, because Miss Independent has a bad reputation, it would seem. It would seem that some would think Miss Independent somehow must not have valued herself sufficiently well because she's alone. She's by herself. So there's this misconception, misunderstanding, or misinterpretation of what self-worth is, okay? Because what is having no self-worth? What does that look like? Having no self-worth. What is, like, really, when it comes to relationships, because she's Miss Independent, okay? So what about her would be that she has no self-worth? That she abandoned bad relationships. So therefore she has had more than one relationship. She's had several relationships, as opposed to someone who only has been in 2 relationships. Okay, so you must not have self-worth if you have so many relationships. You must not have learned a lesson, Miss Independent. But quite, how do they say? Quite contraire, mon frère. Quite contraire, mon frère. Quite contraire. And the reason it's quite contraire is because it takes a lot of self-worth to walk away from your perception of love. And some would say, well, why would you love the unlovable? Why would you choose something unloving to love? Who said I chose something unloving to love? I chose, like everyone else, something that was loving and wanting me. Like everyone else. I just didn't sit there and accept bad behavior. I just didn't sit there and accept disrespect. I just didn't sit there and accept the status quo. I just didn't sit there and allow circumstances of another to tell me who I am. So that's Miss Independent here. Someone that supports herself, not because she cannot be supported by someone, not because she neglects or she's not a feminist that's gonna not accept a man to take care of her if he wants to. She's just not gonna be wholly dependent on that man doing what he's supposed to do as a man for her. She's smarter than that, because the moment that things do not work in her favor, in the favor of her well-being and her safety and what's in the best interest for her and her family, meaning her children, if she has children, with a man that sees her as independent. So if he sees her as independent, it would mean that she can manage herself and her life and has her own life. That doesn't mean she doesn't have or want support. And what is it about loving someone and giving someone chances to be better makes you have no self-worth? So, what would be the difference between me telling someone, I don't like it when you act that way, or I'm not happy when you do those things, and he continues to do them, and we argue about it, and we forget about it, and we act like it's not a big deal, and we do that. And that can go on forever. And I can pretend that I'm okay with that, but in reality, I'm just accepting bad behavior because that's just the way he is. So that's supposed to be okay because that's what a marriage is about. But an independent woman that says, you know, my standards for behavior is, if we have a conversation about it, you should be conscious enough to say, you're right, I shouldn't do that, and stop doing that if I want to keep a healthy relationship with you, like anything else. And we're talking about things like keep your word, honor your commitment. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you love me correctly. So there is no misunderstanding there. But if the person is unable to change or evolve or be better than that, or they're choosing not to be, and then you decide, I don't want to stay with a person that cannot do that, and you leave, what about that makes you have less value than the one that stays with the man that cannot evolve and just accepts that he cannot evolve and stays in that situation and then say, this situation is fine. I'll bypass this situation because it's just who he is, and I'm a bigger person for accepting him at his worst, or at the least, his not the best, and that's okay. So that conversation gets brought up as if because you gave love to someone that didn't deserve your love, you don't have self-worth. But if you gave love, and the only reason that there is a claim that there is self-worth here is the fact that the couple is still together, the couple's still together that is just not addressing the issues, to me, that's not having self-worth. Because if you have worth, you're going to bring up things that are uncomfortable to bring up because obviously two people coming together doesn't necessarily make for a harmonious dynamic. There's going to be adjustments. There's going to be trying to resolve. There's going to be trying to come together in a way that we can both flow at our best, that we both can be at our best, that we can both provide to each other what we need without too much overextending ourselves in life in general. This is what a partnership is, doing life together. And if you're going to do life together, are we doing life together in a way that we're both satisfied, we're both growing, we're both contributing, we're both giving to this dynamic, feeding the vision of our love, feeding the vision of our connection, feeding the vision of our future, to that this is a commitment that we choose. So the complications come when somebody fills your head, gasses you up with, yeah, this is our dream life, this is what we're going to do, but there's no backbone to support that. There's no, and then some would say, well, then you should measure the character of the person right away by their economic status, by their, okay, so yeah, we can look at those things, and if they tell you that those things are true, and they can sustain that lie or that falsity for a little while, and then it turns out that it's very inconsistent, how is that your lack of self-esteem or your lack of judgment that someone was willing to go that far to maintain a lie with you? I would suggest that a person that's willing to maintain a lie that long with you or go through so much trouble is because your value is that high and because you are that rare and that valuable, to the point that people will go to extremes to stay attached. I don't see how a woman that's independent, that's maybe never been married or has been married and divorced, has had her share of relationship failures. We'll call them what they are, failures. They're failures, failure to launch, I guess, I don't know, failure, because she had to choose herself instead of remaining in a stagnant situation. What about that? Is her self-worth being an issue? I don't think that that's her having no self-worth. So it just didn't make sense when the person was saying, no, but when, as a woman, it's, the role of the man is to let him take care of you without you giving anything to him. And it's like, I'm supposed to play the role of the feminine as a woman, which is to just receive. Don't give anything. That's the advice to be a woman that is considered a successful woman. And then it's like, okay, so I assumed that this is what I do because this is what I want to do. And the fact that you give me the option that I don't have to if I don't want to, that suffices. And that if I want to, that's okay. But that there's no obligation. And so being in a partnership where it becomes one of those relationships where it's like you offer and say, I'm willing to help out and this is what I'm going to do to support, where it becomes the norm that this is how you're taken care of, that you're expected to bring your half to the table, like your half of the earnings or your half of the responsibility or whatever. Some people make it very materialistic. They make it about the material, and it's not about the material. It's about maintaining the space that you cultivate together in balance together. It doesn't matter how it gets done. It's how it works for both of you. And I don't like, but without an abuse, like a young couple that are struggling going to school, or maybe having trying to establish themselves. It's possible for the husband to say, "Hun, I'm going to support you to finish school, because out of circumstances, her schooling might be faster. The program she's working on could be more significantly higher in income. Her status could help support him better than his status can support her in the short term. In the long term, his may work, but it's you know what I mean? Like, you come up with plans as a couple." But yeah, someone made that comment, like it's having no self-worth if you're sitting there contributing to the household responsibilities as a woman, or if you're giving, because you've paid for lunch, or you supported your spouse. Well, yeah, I supported my spouse, but I never supported my spouse like I never had a freeloader in my life. And I've never been a freeloader either to anyone. Like, no man can sit there and say that they had to take care of me because I couldn't do it for myself. Any man that knew me or knows me can say 100% that I take care of myself very well. And if that's a problem for him, that I take care of myself, because I'm supposed to let a man be a man. I'm not. What's stopping you from being a man? I'm not stopping you from being a man. I'm just asking you, don't stop me from being me. I'm a woman, and I like how I take care of myself. And if you're giving me the option to say you don't have to take care of yourself because I can take care of you, then I'm going to say thank you. I appreciate that. I'll let you take care of me. But if I'm in the mood to take care of myself and say, I suddenly want to take a class, or I suddenly want to go do this contract job, or I suddenly want to do this project, I don't want to be told I can't do something if it's not interfering with anything. And that's been a problem. A training for a job that would be 3 weeks or a month in a different state, to not be able to do that simply because somebody doesn't want you to travel, or somebody doesn't want you to go away for that time frame. That's ridiculous. Like, a relationship is not supposed to put rules on you and put limits on you, what you can and cannot do now that you are involved. Like, they're not your parent. And I've had partnerships where suddenly it's like, I'm your person, suddenly I'm not allowed to have a social life, or I'm not allowed to communicate with people that I communicate with. It's like, your insecurities are not my problem. I'm a grown woman, and I know how to act, and I don't have to lie, and I don't have to play games. And to hear, anybody question my self-esteem and my self-worth because when people were acting out, it hurt. It hurt when people react badly. It hurts when people have tantrums and they're grown and they say really ugly things and they do really ugly things when they're angry. But never once is that tolerated. Never once is that acceptable. Never once was that not addressed and stayed long term in that situation. So for somebody to question my value, my self-worth, my self-esteem, and claim I didn't have it because I overloved people that underserved. I overlove people that underserved Okay? That doesn't make me having low self-esteem. That makes me being optimistic. That makes me being compassionate. That makes me really doing my best to maintain harmony with somebody that I really would like to stay in harmony with, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt to get it together. Because once I've had enough, then enough is enough, and then that opportunity is done. It's over. And knowing what's of value, what you bring to the table, how good you've been to them, how well you treated them, how the quality that you brought to the relationship, is good quality, so you don't question it. It's like, I know what you're gonna lose when I'm gone. So they could pretend it doesn't hurt. They can act like they're grateful that you're gone, but they know very well that they can't complain about who you've been. They can't ever say that you were not quality or worthy or valuable. Them not seeing it or pretending that they don't see it because they were too insecure to see it isn't your problem. Them not recognizing it, them not noticing it, them acting like you're just I bit my tongue. Like that must mean something, huh? Somebody biting their tongue? Bite your tongue. No, fuck you. I ain't biting my tongue. Anyway. I even heard that earlier, like cat got your tongue. Like someone was like trying to, like, I don't know, cat got your tongue? Like trying, I don't want to say silence you, but get you to see yourself in this light. Like, that's not who I am. I'm not that. I'm not that. And I never was that. I never was that. My reaction to their behavior was very normal. My reaction to bad behavior was very normal. Cry about it, talk about it, mourn, grieve, get over it, struggling getting over it, putting boundaries so that it's clear that you're over it, and then standing on your word. Done it many times. So just because I was willing to take a leap of faith yet again, not on the same person, yet again in the same way, open-hearted. Like, what is healing about? When you're healed, you're healed. You don't hold another person accountable for the mistakes of somebody else. You don't hold back who you are in a new partnership simply because the past one limited you or scared you or whatever the hell. You don't have a low self-esteem for going into something wiser but still open. Going into something open and honest isn't the same as thirsty. And some people are getting that shit very fucking confused, and it pisses me off because I don't like the terms and the behavior, the confusion of the behavior, as if being kind is bad, being loving is wrong, and if you do this, it's a turn off. Listen, if you're turned off by kindness and somebody giving you the benefit of the doubt, or somebody being respectful, or somebody actually wanting to love you, if you're turned off by that, you're fucking demented. You got a severe problem. Okay, you have a severe problem. And if you're attracted to dramatic ass bitches, if you're attracted to crazy fucking weirdos, then you got a fucking problem. It's a problem. No one's attracted to that shit that I know of. You know what I mean? Being in the drama of somebody doesn't mean that you like the drama. It means you hope the person doesn't have disharmony with you. You're hoping you can make this person not react the way they react when they react that way with you, simply because you're letting them know that you have a boundary, or simply because you say no, or simply because you say, I don't want to, or simply because you say I can't, or simply because you say, anything that doesn't go in alignment with them or in agreement with them, that they think they have some kind of say over how you're supposed to do things for them. It's like, no, if you want that, that's fine. You can go do that. But don't get mad. Don't react a certain way because I don't want to. Like, accept who I am the way that I am, or don't accept it at all. But that's like a thing where it's like, do I have to be stuck at the hip with you right now? No, I don't have to. Go ahead, do your thing. But if doing your thing is betraying me, then you got a problem. If doing my thing bothers you, then you got a problem. If you can't trust that me doing my thing is not me doing something behind your back, you got a problem. I don't have time to be explaining myself. I'm an adult. Why would I entertain you if I'm going to play stupid games? I'm not entertaining a person's insecurities. Like, I get that a relationship can be threatened. It can be threatened, in a certain aspect of the relationship, but not the longevity of a relationship. If the longevity of the whole relationship is based on insecurity, like, that's a problem. I'm talking about you start a commitment and everything, you guys are in a good relationship, and then you hit a lull, a dip, a little hiccup in the dynamic where you maybe feel a little disconnected, or you maybe feel a little bit off, or you feel like, questioning the next phase of your life. That might challenge the relationship. That might threaten the relationship if you're associating with other individuals in that, and given those moments, that can be a threat to the relationship. But those are the moments where you decide, do we work on it? Are we honest about it? Do we deal with it? Do we, is this really what we want, or is this just something I'm doing out of obligation or out of a feeling of change so desperate that I'm going to go ahead and do something so crazy and risk something I value? Like, you can't be that dumb either, like, realistically. So that's all, I think that's all. I wanted to have that, I was having that conversation, and I took off all the cards off the table. It was like, forget it. I'm not putting any more cards on the table on this matter. It's like, Miss Independent isn't her being a hoe. Miss Independent isn't her being a feminist or a man hater. Miss Independent is independent because Mr. Support you, however, for you to be completely dependent, hasn't fucking shown up like that. That has nothing to do with my self-worth. It has to do with their self-worth. I can be at the top of the totem pole. And when I say, no, fuck that. When I say it hasn't shown up, that's a lie too. It has shown up. It has shown up. The opportunities are there, but it's not opportunities I want. That's another thing too. Just because the opportunities are there, it doesn't mean it's the opportunities you want. Oh, I'll take care of you. I'll look out for you, whatever. But that comes with rules too. That comes with an expectation. That comes with somebody telling you what you can and cannot do, that you're expected to abide by for that kind of lifestyle. Hey, if I'm going to give you this kind of lifestyle, I expect you to sit at home in an apron all day. And it's like, no. Or I expect you to, whatever the hell he thinks he needs for himself. And it's like, very rare do you find a man that wants to love and provide and take care of you just because he loves you, and will do so because it's his desire to do so. So that is rare. And because it is rare, that is special. And because it is special, it is unique. And it is unique because not everybody's willing to be that way. So I would not settle for the guy that just wakes up every day to go do his obligation and hate life all day. I will not settle for the guy that the minute he's bored and wants to instigate a problem just so he can go get an adventure and act like it's normal because he's a guy. I don't want the guy that pretends to like me, but it's a facade to be with me simply because it's easier to be in a situation with someone and pretend than to face life alone and be codependent, like out of fear or something. Weird, man. Just weird people. And then you say, oh, maybe you need to pick better. Well, shit, if they present themselves a certain kind of way, and then there's those that you feel a connection to, a pull towards, you genuinely care for this person. But I don't care how much I care about you. I think caring about someone would give, the benefit of the doubt for so long anymore. For so long you can be like, it's like, look, I don't know how demented you are, but if this is how you behave, that's fine. Be you. Peace and light and love and whatever, all that good stuff for you. Have a nice life, and move on. Like, nobody has the time to sit there and try to figure out someone else. Like, people don't need to be coming into your life unresolved with themselves or in turmoil with themselves. And some would think that, you're bad at discerning. No, is that real psychopaths or real weirdos or real fucked up people are capable of thinking really elaborate schemes and plans to attach for whatever their reasons, to prove a point, out of sheer desire or sheer disdain. People are weird. I think I'm kidding, man. People are strange. People are strange. I don't know how that song goes, but people are strange. People are strange. And this person, I've known this person for many years. This is a very close person to me, someone that has seen all of my colors in many ways, okay? They've seen my ups, they've seen my downs. They know what they know I'm not the type of person to over embellish a situation. I'm not the type of I might express a story over embellished, but I don't embellish on the facts. I don't embellish on what actually happened, even if it is not in my favor. Well, how did you say this? What did you say? Why did you know what I mean? Like, if I have to get to the point of proving something right or wrong, or making a case here over what is true and what is false and who is right and who is wrong, like, don't play with me on that. Don't play with me on that, because no, we're not gonna pretend here that we don't know the difference between right and wrong, okay, and that we don't know how to ask the right questions. And some would think, oh, okay, so you ask the questions, you get the gaslighting shit. If you already know how this person operates and you get the gaslight, you might eventually realize, be like, there's no point in addressing this matter with this person anymore. So you stop addressing the matter with them. But what they don't realize is you not addressing the matter with them anymore means you're already strategizing an exit plan. If there's nothing to talk about, oh, you can't talk about this? Oh, you're gaslighting the shit out of me when I bring it up? You don't want me to know deeper. You don't want me to go further. You want to pretend that I can't. You want to block me from being more in your world? Then don't worry about it. You keep that block. You keep that wall up. If you think I'm going to sit there and pour buckets of water on your wall hoping you melt that fucking wall, you're fucking twisted. You're confused. You're broken. You're damaged goods. Call it what you want. No way, Jose. It didn't really piss me off, but I realized that even though this person was referring to past version of me, the perspective of past version of me was like pointing the finger at me. Yet, when you claim that I had no self-esteem, based on what? We can talk about that. Because we're going to say based on my sexual experiences. So does everybody that have sexual experiences have low self-esteem? Or does everyone that has to deal with a person that can't deal with their emotions have low self-esteem? Does everyone that have arguments with their partner have low self-esteem? Does everyone that breaks up and goes back with their partner once or twice have low self-esteem? Or is that just having a human relationship? Does everyone that cry when things go wrong in their relationships that they value, does that mean they have low self-esteem? Because from what I know, from what I recall, from what I remember, from what I know and from what I see, I didn't tolerate much bullshit from anybody. I stayed a lot longer, not because of me, but because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. And their bad behavior wasn't because, they could try to make it seem like, well, why would this person sabotage a connection with you? They must not have liked you. They must have been obvious that they didn't like you because they were acting so bad. Well, you could say that. You could say that. They must not have liked me. Therefore, I left. But then why pretend to like me? Why go through such an elaborate scheme to pretend to like me? And if it was just a fuck, why victimize the person that's being done to? Why put it on them? Oh, you're supposed to have better boundaries. You were supposed to know better. Okay. So no accountability for the person lying. No accountability for the person pretending. No accountability for the person doing all the elaborate schemes to get you to believe the illusion of love, so that you can give them the essence of your love. And when you give them or share with them the essence of your love, they benefit from that. But do you benefit from that when they are not capable of providing that level of love because they came in with a pretense and it wasn't even real love? So yeah, in that sense, you get the short end of the stick, right? But is that a reason to say you have no self-esteem? I mean, how are you responsible for another person's way of acting? for another person not having accountability or integrity with their word. How is that your fault? So if a man promises a girl marriage and she's a virgin, right? Imagine a young girl, she's a virgin, and he promises her marriage, and he's in a relationship with her, and he shows up to her house, and as long as she's protesting, saying no, I have to wait. One day, eventually, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, he convinces her that he's the love of her life and that he's going to commit to her no matter what. She goes and makes love to him because she expects that she's going to marry him and that they're going to be a happy family, and that isn't going to be a tarnish on her name. She's not going to get her name tarnished because she's going to marry the guy. But he doesn't. He got what he wanted, and that was it. Is she to blame for that? That he was willing to go as far as doing all of that to get it. He was willing to wait it out, pretend to be the loving boyfriend, and then get it, get out of it what he wanted. And when he was like, wow, that was great, that was fun, that was good, okay, I'm officially tired and bored, I think I'm ready to try it again with somebody else. I think I'm ready to go do that elsewhere. I mean, what at that point? Is she supposed to kill him? Is she supposed to be destroyed psychologically, mentally, emotionally forever? Is she supposed to just break down and die in that moment? Is she supposed to hate her life so much because she tarnished her name by believing in someone that pretended? I mean, we live in a new society where people don't even value those types of connections, where those connections are looked at as games and taken not seriously at all. But we're talking adulting here. We're not talking childish, crazy, reckless, careless behaviors and people just, sleeping around with the next one like it's normal. No, we're talking about adulting, committing to a partnership that is growthful, that is solid, that is real, that is authentic, that is natural, that is truthful. Like, if you're going to try to pretend that this reality that does not exist in this reality, I think that's exactly what they would want us to believe, is that there's a scarcity of good people, that there's an abundance of not good people, and if that's what we believe, that's what we manifest. But also and some would say, well, of course you should believe it, because if you're noticing a trend or you're noticing a pattern, the pattern changes when you decide, oh, I'm going to respond differently. I am not going to invest in anything beyond a conversation without something of substance. And you can determine a man's readiness by how ready he is when he approaches you. When he comes to you, what is he coming for? To tweedle thumbs with you, or he's ready with a plan for you in his life? Either he's ready for a plan with you in his life, otherwise he's just a guy that's trying to get to know you. And this isn't about, I want a guy that's trying to get to know me. It's, why are you trying to get to know me? What do you want? Make your intentions clear from the beginning. What are you approaching me for? What do you want? Be real with the intention. Come correct. If your intention is, I'm looking for a wife in my life, then that's what you're supposed to say. I want you to be my wife one day, or I want to get to know you because you're wife material. Okay, I know some people be like, damn girl, that's really direct. Well, damn, it's not. It is not. I don't think it is. I think it's right. I think it's normal. I think a man knows what he wants, and I don't think he needs to pretend he doesn't. I don't think he needs to act like he's unsure, and all of that. Everything else is bullshit. It's just bullshit. A man that's ready and sees what he wants, he's gonna come try to find out if this is what I want. And that's it. So there's no questioning what's his intention. No. You can see a person's intention isn't legitimate by their behavior. That doesn't mean that you don't still keep a hold of the vision of what your divine masculine actually looks like. Not the person itself. In essence, in energy, in how you expect to be treated. You hold the vision for that masculine. And you can see whoever comes by either fits the bill or doesn't. Either fits the character, the personality, the energy, the embodiment of that is either there or it is not. And it's not evasive. It's direct. It lets you know from where it stands. It either stands at, I'm a man with a purpose and I want you in my life, or I'm some person with no purpose and I'm about to play around in your energy. I either have purpose or I'm playing in your energy. I either have a purpose and I see you in it, or I don't, and you're just going to be entertainment. And that is all, folks. Hasta luego. See you when I see you.